On 4 News Now, tragedy on Highway 2 this morning while winds were whipping across the inland northwest. 2 people crushed by a fallen tree in what Washington State Patrol is calling a freak accident.
Much calmer conditions across the region tonight. I'll let you know if that's going to last and tell you about the next round of wet weather in the first alert forecast.
And a charter school in North Idaho left in the dark and cold without power. Parents crowding the parking lot to pick up their little ones from school. You're watching 4 News Now at 6. Well, crews around the inland northwest are still cleaning up the damage caused by this morning's high-speed winds. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Derek Dice. Kirsten O'Connor has the week off. The gusts peaking at up to 70 miles per hour today, causing a tree to fall into rush hour traffic on Highway 2, killing 2 people who were simply on their way to work. Here's a look at the mess of debris and the major traffic slowdown on the highway this morning. According to WSP, a tree snapped and fell onto the eastbound lanes of the highway. 2 co-workers on their morning commute hit it with their truck, launching them off the road. It happened here near Airway Heights, just west of the airport exit. This blocked eastbound traffic for hours while emergency crews attended to the scene. The driver and the passenger both died at the scene. WSP says there was really nothing they could have done to prevent this. The tree that fell was located on Spokane International Airport property. The identities of the 2 people involved will be released by the medical examiner's office at a later date. A scary moment for everyone on the roads this morning. Thankfully, though, those winds have died down now. Let's send things over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker, who is tracking some less turbulent weather for tomorrow.
Absolutely, much less turbulent. Some of the wind gusts being reported from this morning are impressive, especially that wind gust at Spokane International near that accident, a 68-mile-per-hour gust. Now, much of the rest of the region saw less windy conditions. The next highest gust reported Post Falls at 56 miles per hour, a 50-mile-per-hour gust in Pullman, 52 at Felts Field. Meanwhile, winds currently across the region are considerably calmer, only 10 miles per hour at the airport in Spokane. Have a 17-mile-per-hour gust in Spokane Valley, 6-mile-per-hour gusts in Moses Lake, and winds are calm in Sandpoint right now. Our wind forecast through Thursday morning, we see things dying down practically to nothing by the time we are into the overnight, and a calmer day in your forecast. It's also going to be a cooler day. High temperatures across the region. We're in the 50s in Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, Pullman, 53 in Moses Lake. Temperatures currently are still in the 40s in many locations, but we'll be dropping fast into the mid-30s by 11 o'clock with partly cloudy skies. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast after the break. Derek?
All right, Chris, thanks. Strong winds knocked down trees in Hayden, too, and left a local charter school there without power. There was a line of parents that stretched around the building after the school asked parents to come pick up their children. Derek Strom spoke with school officials about the decision to send students home early.
We're still seeing some very strong winds here in Hayden, and that's what knocked over a tree and knocked out power for the Hayden Canyon Charter School. And that forced all of the parents to be advised to come and pick up their kids on very short notice this morning.
I'm going to miss school.
School started at 7:30 this morning at Hayden Canyon Charter, but around 10, wind knocked down a tree on Government Way, and the school lost power. The school's internet and most of its water also relies on electricity, so students and staff were not able to use any of the bathrooms. School administrators quickly sent out a message to parents asking them to come pick up their kids.
No, I've only been here 2 years, and so nothing like this has happened. For my 10 years, the school's only about 5 years old, so nothing that I know of has happened like this before. But it is a good practice for evacuation.
Instead of releasing kids in staggered groups like usual, parents waited in line to pick up their student, and each student was called down one by one. But it took some time to organize the hundreds of students in attendance, and the line of parents reached the end of the parking lot.
Yeah, the parents have been really patient, and I'm sure there's some perturbance there, but you know, what can you do? But we need to check for the safety and security of the children and the adults. You know, we need to physically check the IDs, and that's what we're doing.
Some students were scheduled to go for a hike today, but that field trip was canceled. School officials still aren't sure when power will be restored so the school can open again.
Well, I've been told that the tree's been removed. The lights are still not on inside. I'm sure Kootenai Electrical or whoever it is going to have to work, do some overtime to get the power back up. I've been told that the power's all up and down Government Way is out.
In Hayden, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
We've been monitoring power outages in our region all day long between Avista, Inland Power, and Kootenai Electric. Power was knocked out for more than 10,000 people at one point today, but now that number is down to about 3,000. And this includes the holiday lights in Manitou Park, which will not be glowing tonight due to today's windstorms. Alexandra Cohen-Yards is in Manitou tonight. And Alexandra, what a bummer.
Indeed, Derek, disappointing news for families that had plans to come and enjoy the Manitou Park holiday lights tonight. Normally, this area would be beaming with many Christmas lights and decorations, but as you can see, right now, it's pretty dark. And it's not just here. Across the region, thousands have been impacted by these power outages. I spoke with some arborists who gave tips on how you can make sure you stay safe during unexpected weather like this. Here's what they had to say. Power lines, branches, even basketball hoops were knocked down in the Comstock neighborhood following heavy winds. Arborists say that this area is especially prone to damage when storms like this roll through.
The South Hill has a lot of tall trees, so historically there's been a lot of larger tree failures here.
While the storm was certainly a shock to many, Mike Bond with Spokane Tree Pro says it is also a good reminder to check on your property before a disaster strikes.
A lot of people don't really think about it until the storm is happening, which can be too late, obviously, but
damage from today's storm was seen all around the region, with trees in people's backyards or even on top of cars. To prevent this from happening in the future, Bond recommends taking action early and making sure you always
keep your eye up in the sky, especially when the winds are going around. Even in just a regular day, when you're driving around, and you just kind of keep your eye up when the wind's going on.
While Mother Nature is unpredictable, there are things you can control that can be done to make sure your property is as safe as possible.
Inspections is the #1 thing you can do. If anything looks off, if you're concerned about a potential risk, call a certified arborist.
Both tree companies also pointed out that the heavy rainfall from the last few weeks could have added to the damage that was caused by these windstorms. Now, as for the Manitou Park holiday lights, Spokane Parks and Rec says that they're working hard to get everything up and running again by tomorrow. The lights should then be available to enjoy through the rest of the week. Reporting live from Spokane, Alexandra Cohen-Yards, 4 News Now.
All right, fingers crossed for them reopening tomorrow. The revolving door out of Pullman remains swinging today as WSU head coach Jake Dickert announced his departure for the Wake Forest job.
And this news continues the mass exodus as this leaves Wazoo without much of their coaching staff and now over 20 transfers out with players. So now the search begins for the next head coach on the Palouse, as Dickert will, of course, not be coaching for the Holiday Bowl. Names like Montana State head coach Brent Vegan, Alabama assistant head coach Jamarcus Shepard, and Missouri offensive coordinator Kirby Moore all could be in strong consideration. But WSU athletic director Ann McCoy said whoever they pick, the decision will come quickly. And she spoke with the media today on what it meant to be a Coug and what they're looking for in their next candidate.
Someone who has heart and someone who is wired into what's a priority for them and in their lives and with their community and with their team. I mean, I think if you look at a lot of common threads with our head coaches, you've got highly competitive, driven people that place a priority on the relationships and not just something that's transactional.
And so now the waiting game begins all before that Holiday Bowl. And McCoy assured us today, again, Washington State is 100% locked in to play Syracuse. And when it rains, Derek, well, you know the rest. John Mateer entered the transfer portal just days ago, but now already has his next destination locked in with the Oklahoma Sooners.
Yeah, which seemed the most likely spot,
Yes.
right, with offensive coordinator Ben Arbuckle taking that job, and plus it's only a couple hours from his hometown in Texas.
Not too bad for him.
All right, Jack, thank you. Dickert's exit is the latest in what's become a mass exodus at Washington State. The program has lost many of its key players, as Jack just said, and coaches in the last 18 days. And fans, as you can imagine, are frustrated. Jordan Smith joins us from Pullman with their thoughts in this new era of college football.
Welcome to College Football 2024, where mid-major programs are somewhat organ donors for the blue bloods of the league. Since the start of December, the Cougs have lost their star quarterback, both offensive and defensive coordinators, and now their head coach.
It was like, here we go again.
Today's news of Coach Dickert's departure was unwelcome, but unsurprising.
Thank you. You're very welcome. Go Cougs. Go Cougs.
To fans like Mark Barrett.
We're the ones feeling the most uncomfortable, I believe, about NIL. I think the fan base is.
Barrett says the excitement surrounding college sports has faded. Loyalty in sports well, that's a thing of the past.
I've been a Coug my entire life.
But as former Cougs tight end Tony Thompson can tell you, college football, it's a business.
And it always was, but it's at a different capacity now. I was playing in an era where, you lived off of a stipend and that was it. Now it's guys can go out and get sponsored by big companies. You could just straight up get paid from a collective.
From stipends to millions, coaches and players are chomping at the bit to collect money. So how does a program like WSU compete? Thompson says the way that they always have.
We are fighters by nature. If somebody finds a better opportunity elsewhere, good for you. I'm down for the real ones, the ones that stuck around or that stick around and choose to sit by me in the stadium and cheer on our Cougs.
Barrett suggests athletes be required to sign a contract to keep them committed to a program for a few years. But until any real guardrails are put into place, programs like WSU will have to roll with the punches and fight through the adversity. Or, as Coach Dickert says,
be the man you say you are right now when the hard things come.
For 4 News Now, I'm Jordan Smith.
Well, if you've driven by the intersection of Maple and Maxwell in the last year, you've probably seen crowds of people, trash, and drug use. One business is working to turn properties in that area around. Watch Natalie Grant's special report coming up at 6:30.
And who's going to take away the coveted Groovy Shoes trophy home tonight? We'll show you more from the annual Groovy Shoe Spirit competition between North Central High and Shadle Park High coming up.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
Save your greed! There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra. Available with the connected driving experience. And the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Get 0% APR on select 2024 Sierra 1500 models. That's over $6,400 total value. Plus, no monthly payments until next year.
ShopDaveSmith.com. Hadestown, returning to Spokane December 21st and 22nd. Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
Thank you, honey. I love it.
Don't thank me. Thank Santa.
What did you get?
Northern Quest gift card.
Wait, I didn't get that for you.
Oh, I know. Santa did.
Merry Christmas!
Hey, well, who accidentally broke your favorite Christmas ornament? Clumsy Santa.
Give the gift of Northern Quest. Visit or go online.
A performance that truly matters. This is what you've been waiting for. Shenyun. Give your loved ones the best holiday gift. Shenyun.com.
I'm JJ. I'm Tyler. We're with Kiona Vineyards, and we're here at Yokes Fresh Market. Our grandparents planted the first vineyard on what would become Red Mountain. Some of our legacy cultivars include Cabernet Sauvignon, Lemberger, and Chenin Blanc. The Lemberger is really exciting, right? It has really high red and blue fruit profile to it. We are a big little winery. Yokes has been a beautiful match for us culturally.
Check out Kiona Wines at Yokes Fresh Market.
Next ET, our exclusive on-set with Keke Palmer and SZA in her first acting role.
She's my coach. She's my day-to-day coach.
Plus, ET Then and Now with the Lawrence brothers.
Next ET. Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
20 years ago, Petra Nemkova, world-famous supermodel on a dream vacation. And then the tsunami crashing in. But somehow, she survived. Now, starting tomorrow, the powerful all-new Diane Sawyer interview on Good Morning America.
Well, we have local rivalry basketball games again tonight between the North Central Wolfpack and the Shadle Park Highlanders. But tonight's games are about more than just basketball as the schools compete in the annual Groovy Shoes Spirit Competition. Marissa Rio is at the Spokane Arena right now. In the center of all that excitement, Marissa?
It is loud out here, Derek. The crowd is electric. And while on the court, this is a competition between the Wolfpack and the Highlanders. In the stands, It's a competition between superheroes and toys. Right behind me here, Shadle Park's theme today is Toy Story. If you could take a look, how excited are you guys tonight? As you can see, we have Buzz Lightyear, we have Woody, we have Rex, we have Ham, we have Corky in the back. I don't know if you can see. They are excited. They're ready to win. Shadle Park, North Central, has won the last 8 competitions for the Groovy Shoes, but Shadle Park is ready to take those Groovy Shoes back. Are you guys ready to take the Groovy Shoes back? I want you to take a look at Suki. We'll take you over to North Central side so you can see what superheroes they have coming up. At Spokane Arena, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Hope your ears aren't ringing before the end of the night there, Marissa.
Reminds me I need to put like lozenges and throat spray on my grocery list for my kids for tomorrow night.
Right?
And you're
Maybe some earplugs too.
They scream so loud. It's not real great on the pipes,
No,
but
always fun though.
It is super fun. And tomorrow, a much calmer day in the forecast. Take a look. We are going to be dropping down below freezing, 30 degrees to start the day, heading up to a high of 39. Might see a little bit of sunshine in the afternoon, not quite as bright and sunny as it was today. 33 our high. I'll be back with the return of some wet weather in the 7-day forecast.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Gold Seal Plumbing.
Respect, protect, pay essential grocery store workers.
We all recognize today's workplace safety challenges.
My union negotiated strong safety language, addressing the important issues we face in our stores.
UFCW 3000 fights to make sure that essential workers get better wages, respect on the job, and a safe workplace.
That's the peace of mind my family and I need. If you'd like a strong union in your workplace, contact us here.
At Coeur d'Alene Honda, every new and select pre-owned Honda comes with a nationwide lifetime warranty.
I don't live near here. Do I still have to come to Coeur d'Alene Honda for all my vehicle services?
No, you can get your car serviced anywhere in the States or Canada. Just keep your records.
You can even do your own oil changes.
That's fantastic, but I'm still covered for as long as I own the vehicle.
Yes, and unlimited miles.
Lease a 2024 Honda Prologue Elite, $389 per month, $49.99 due at signing. Get a 2024 Honda Ridgeline Trail Sport, $289 per month, $49.99 due at signing.
Ring in the holiday season with some reindeer riches at the Kootenai Casino in Bonners Ferry. Santa's got you on his list for 12 days of giveaways and a New Year's Eve countdown to cash. Midweek rates start at $59 in the Kootenai Falls Lodge and $79 in our Riverview rooms. And join us for December Holly Jolly Hot Spins and Weekend Spin and Win. Come celebrate all December at the Kootenai Casino and win big. Call 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com.
Visit Fred's Appliance today and explore unbeatable deals. Make cleanup a breeze with a brand new model Bosch dishwasher. Available in 3 colors, each for just $449, a savings of $350. These Bosch dishwashers offer quiet operation, advanced water efficiency, and a variety of cycle options to clean your dishes every time perfectly. At Fred's, we sell appliances, only appliances.
Hey, Andy here with Brothers Flooring Design, and if you've been looking to remodel your kitchen or bathroom and are looking for a company who can pick out what you need, design it, and install it, at Brothers Flooring we can do it all. I guarantee it.
All right, welcome back. You are taking a live look over the U.S. Pavilion and downtown Spokane tonight. Things have calmed down quite a bit since a very, very windy overnight and morning, Chris Crocker.
Yes, very, very windy and then very clear. Our time lapse today, we got to see some sunshine once the winds calmed down. It turned out to be a beautiful day and just enough clouds this evening for a stunning sunset. Sunset tonight was at 4 o'clock. o'clock. We are out of the 3 o'clock hour for our sunset. Since midnight, 0.22 of an inch of precipitation. We are gaining on our average year to date. I don't think we're going to catch it by the end of the year, but we're getting a lot closer than I thought we were going to be. 41 degrees and partly cloudy right now in Spokane. It's 40 with clear skies in Coeur d'Alene. 4 things to know about your weather. Much calmer conditions on Thursday. Partly to mostly cloudy skies, more clouds than sun, but we may see some hints. Above average temperatures, although cooler than today. More wet weather is in the forecast. On our radar right now, though, it is dry throughout the entire region. That is going to change. Tracking our weather pattern, high pressure will build in for Thursday and Friday as systems approach from the west. Most of the energy will head to the north of the region until we get into Saturday. And then finally that ridge shifts to the east and we bring in our next round of precipitation. It looks like mountain snow and valley rain once again here Saturday at 2 in the afternoon. And we do have additional chances for wet weather right on through the end of the 7-day forecast. But with high temperatures in the 40s for much of the 7-day forecast, we are looking at valley rain and mountain snow. This white line is our average high. It's at 33 right now. We are going to be 10 degrees above average on several days over the next 7. Tomorrow, 39 in Spokane, but many locations will make it into the 40s, including Coeur d'Alene, Pullman, and Ritzville, 37 in Bonners Ferry and Sandpoint, and 36 in Colville, right around the Spokane area, staying in the 30s in Deer Park, Spirit Lake, as well as Airway Heights, but we'll be in the 40s in Bede and 9 Mile. Spokane Valley, Liberty Lake, 42 tomorrow in Spangle. Your 7-day forecast, warmer weather on Friday with mostly cloudy skies. Winter starts on Saturday with a good chance of rain. More rain on Sunday with a high of 42, and the rain will continue for Monday and Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, a chance of rain, and maybe even a mix of rain and snow overnight Christmas Day night into the day after Christmas, when nobody really wants to see it. Yeah. But we'll keep you updated. But right now, I think a green Christmas or brown is a slam dunk.
Come on, Santa, move that timeline up just a little bit for us. All right, coming up next on 4 News Now, Idaho's Board of Education eliminates diversity, equity, and inclusion ideology from public colleges and universities. Hunter Bertram joins us in studio to break down the proposition, which passed unanimously, but many students are not happy with this. The story after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
The stockings are stuffed with holiday cash at Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino. Join us Saturdays in December to win your share of $50,000 in festive fortunes. Don't miss your chance to win even more holiday cheer.
It's jaw-dropping, it's eye-popping, it's gut-busting. It's showtime. That's right. The whole world loves Beetlejuice. It's a rowdy, rambunctious, rollicking good time. And a big, fantastical funhouse. Beautiful. Everyone agrees this show is so good. You've never seen anything quite like. What else do you need to hear? Beetlejuice. Coming to First Interstate Center for the Arts December 31st through January 5th.
As temperatures drop, your heating bill will inevitably rise. And with cold weather right around the corner, things are about to get expensive. But Bill's Heating and AC is here to help. We're including a free cold climate heat pump with every furnace, while supplies last. You heard that right. Cut your heating bills in half with a new energy-efficient cold climate heat pump for free. We're the area's top cold climate heat pump experts. So don't miss out on this incredible offer. Call Bill's Heating and AC today.
Some know it as prime rib. Officially, it's called a ribeye roast. We call ours divine. Tender, mouth-watering Hereford beef, aged to perfection for 5 weeks and never frozen. Oven ready and easy. Divine beef ribeye roast, tied and seasoned at your request. Reserve yours now, exclusively at Yolk's Fresh Markets.
When I was told I needed radiation treatment for a brain tumor, I couldn't stop thinking about what could happen to my memories. Those moments I cherish from growing up, of finding myself, of the people I love, of what I've created. Could they all just fade away? But when I learned how precise treatment was with Gamma Knife, I was reassured that those moments would be preserved. Because it's not only about protecting the memories I've made, but the ones I have yet to create.
Elevate your game day at Caesars Sportsbook, located inside Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino. The area's largest sportsbook is your VIP seat on the 50-yard line with massive HD screens and live betting. Only at Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino. You just win here.
Sports on 4 News Now is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino.
Well, today, Idaho pulled the plug on diversity, equity, and inclusion at all of its public colleges and universities. The state's Board of Education banning DEI ideology in most school policy, a move they've discussed for months now. Hunter Bertram joins us in studio with what this means going forward.
Yeah, Derek, the resolution passed unanimously, despite many students from those schools saying they don't want a policy change. Nearly 700 voiced their opinions ahead of today's vote. And as you can see, 81% of them were against it. Looking ahead, some schools will need to make major changes.
The new policy prohibits all Idaho public colleges and universities from establishing or maintaining any offices, policies, or support centers promoting DEI ideology. In the resolution, DEI ideology is defined as any approach that prioritizes personal identity characteristics, such as race, color, sex, sexual orientation, national origin, religion, or gender identity, over individual merit. University of Idaho President Scott Green.
It's not flipping a switch.
Schools now have until June 30th to make changes to align with state DEI policy. For some, it's easier than others.
The way the resolutions are worded now and the clarification document made it even more clear that our operations will not be impacted.
However, U of I President Green says this will impact many students directly, as programs based on DEI have contributed to
more students are making it through graduation because of them.
Further adding,
as you know, we've held 3 open meetings with our students directly affected by these changes. Their feedback, does reflect a deep sense of loss and sadness about the closures.
President Green also said there will be a rough transition period for the school, but says U of I will follow the new policy by the set June date.
All in favor, say aye.
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 And however, the resolution does not ban student clubs or affinity groups that are established on specific interest or personal identity characteristics. In studio, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
All right, Hunter, thank you. Continuing coverage tonight, the House of Representatives passed the Stop Institutionalized Child Abuse bill, requiring more federal oversight and reform in troubled teen facilities. Paris Hilton has spent years lobbying lawmakers to regulate the industry. Tens of thousands of children are placed in these facilities each year, and a federal report finds more than a dozen states fail to properly track abuse. Hilton's proposal would improve oversight and training and establish a national database of abuse cases. The Senate already passed the measure. It now heads to President Biden's desk for his signature. Well, a missing Coeur d'Alene woman was found dead just before 10 o'clock this morning. 65-year-old Sharon Davidson was reported missing after not being seen since Saturday. Kootenai County Search and Rescue found Davidson's body near her home on Cougar Gulch Road, the same area where she was last seen. Crews were in and out of the property throughout the morning. At this time, detectives do not think foul play was involved, but her death is still under investigation. All right, coming up after the break, a 4 News Now special report why one local business is taking the time to clean up massive amounts of trash and needles and even hire a security company to prevent break-ins in properties on Maple and Maxwell. Don't go away.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Satay Bistro, Coeur d'Alene's culinary extravaganza of American fusion dining. From our extensive wine cellar to our unforgettably decadent menu, we'll move your experience beyond ordinary to the extraordinary. Satay Bistro, just off the 4th Street exit in Coeur d'Alene.
Elegance, style, quality, custom made for your project. Agalite shower doors and bath enclosures by River City Glass are designed for a lifetime of use. Timeless beauty that speaks for itself with superior quality and exceptional value. offering exquisite custom wine room enclosures and office room glass, specializing in custom mirrors crafted to fit your space, producing high-performance glass for every project, residential and commercial. River City Glass.
Orpheus was a poor boy, but he had a gift to give. And Eurydice was a young girl, but she'd seen how the world was. She fell in spite of herself, in love. Just how far would you go for her?
December 21st and 22nd. Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
I think it's important for us as tribal people to educate and inform others as to who we are and what we're about. We have a beautiful culture that we respect our lands, we respect our waters.
Our medical center serves Indian and non-Indian. We were the first one in the nation to do that.
We built a $25 million core center for the children.
We also house the Boys and Girls Club out of there.
Our employees here are friendly. It gives you that welcome home feeling.
Satay Bistro, Coeur d'Alene's culinary extravaganza of American fusion dining. From our extensive wine cellar to our unforgettably decadent menu, we'll move your experience beyond ordinary to the extraordinary. Satay Bistro, just off the 4th Street exit in Coeur d'Alene.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, press it!
It's our gift to the community, and it's meant to spread holiday cheer.
Can you imagine being in the hospital during the Christmas season and looking out the window and having that like glimmer of happiness and joy?
Every year they're better, they're brighter. It's amazing.
It makes it very magical while I'm in the hospital.
Enjoy the lights at Cowley Park all season long. It's our holiday gift to you from the 4 News Now Extreme Team. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Thanks so much for staying with us. The winds have calmed down, but it's not exactly blue skies in the forecast. Chris Crocker is here to tell you more.
We do have some wet weather showing up by the weekend, but in the meantime, we're enjoying a decrease in the winds. These are our current winds across the region. Only Spokane Valley reporting a gust of 17 miles per hour. 10-mile-per-hour breeze at the airport in Spokane is relatively calm in Coeur d'Alene, Sandpoint, and Moses Lake. And this is the forecast for winds on Thursday. Barely a stir in the air through the day. It'll peak at in the afternoon, around noon, at 5 miles per hour, down from near 70-mile-per-hour gusts this morning at Spokane International Airport. It has been a warm day, 50 degrees in Spokane, 51 in Coeur d'Alene. Our average high is 33, 51 in Pullman, and it hit 60 degrees today in Lewiston, close to 50 degrees in Bonners Ferry, a high temperature of 48 degrees. So that snow is melting quickly that we got last night in Bonners Ferry. Anything wet will be refreezing tonight. Temperatures dropping below freezing throughout the region. The only exception, Lewiston and the Tri-Cities, bottoming out in the mid-30s right around the Spokane area. Thursday morning lows will be in the mid-20s in Deer Park and Spirit Lake, 29 in 9 Mile and Meade, as well as Hayden and Coeur d'Alene. In your Thursday day planner, 30 degrees to start the day. Look for partly to mostly cloudy skies with a high of 39. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast plus some Wildlife Wednesday photos in just a few minutes. Derek?
All right. Looking forward to that. This powerful storm today is a reminder that winter winds can cause major disruptions in our lives, but the damage we're seeing may not be entirely the fault of the wind. Meteorologist Matt Gray is here to explain the why behind the storm, Matt, and how we can be better prepared in the future.
And the one thing when it comes to severe weather, it's usually more than just one thing, sometimes more than the obvious. Now, this storm has a lot of similarities to some of the strongest windstorms here in our modern history in the Spokane area. The peak gust at Spokane International today, only just a few miles an hour below the January 2021 and November 2015 windstorms that live in infamy. Now, in so many ways, that 2015 storm, it is a one-of-a-kind event. But this latest storm, it's got a lot of similarities to what happened just a few years ago in 2021. It was preceded by heavy rain from one of those atmospheric rivers we talk about, saturating the ground. And that's pretty important because a lot of rain, it really loosens up the rocky, hard-packed soil that we have around here. It's a lot easier to dig and a lot easier for the wind to rip a tree out of the ground when it is wet, as it was in these two events. Now, not only did these storms drop a lot of rain, but they caused a huge spike in temperatures. It was warm today, both today and on the 13th of January. We saw temperatures soar to the 50s. Now, because of the tropical origins of these storms, they warm things up. And then when you get a cold front that sweeps in at the end of it, as that storm ends, the drastic changes, and they're pretty dramatic when you get this warm this time of the year. From warm and wet to cool and dry, all of that turbulence going on as those air masses collide together. That provides a perfect highway for some of those jet stream winds that usually stay up higher in the atmosphere. Well, now you've got a window here where they can ride down to the ground and start messing things up, and that's exactly what we saw today. Often we think of rain as just rain, but in some cases like today, the rain and some of the conditions that bring that rain into the inland Northwest, they also contribute to severe weather in some not so obvious ways.
All right, Matt, thank you. Well, if you've driven by the intersection of Maple and Maxwell in the last year, you may have seen this. Crowds of people, trash, and even drug use. A group of 4 homes at the epicenter of the problem were recently purchased, and the new owners say it's been an uphill battle to clean things out and turn them around. Natalie Grant shares what comes next for the homes and why some neighbors are frustrated.
In the last year, the corner of Maple and Maxwell in Spokane has turned into a hotspot for illegal activity. Today, it's still littered with trash and needles, but a much quieter scene than just months ago.
It's been a nightmare.
Carol Kendall and her family have lived on this block for 11 years, and she says they have never seen the area swarmed with drugs and crime like this.
We've had break-ins in the houses on this block. My car's been broken into, tires have been slashed, just being afraid. My grandkids are afraid to walk through the neighborhood. I have teenage kids that can't even walk from here to grandma's house a half a block away.
From the outside, these homes were one that Chad Young and his team at Easy Home Buyer were used to encountering.
We buy all sorts of houses, but for the people that don't want to put any $100,000 into fixing up a house, maybe evicting squatters. Those are the type of situations that we handle on a regular basis.
At the beginning of 2024, they purchased the 4 properties on the lot, but couldn't have predicted the road in front of them.
It has taken us about 11 months to get the 60 plus people we had to evict out of the houses. This, you probably saw, it was kind of like a mini Camp Hope for a while. From when we bought it to what they did to the houses, I mean, they caused probably another $100,000 in damages that we couldn't have predicted.
Young took us inside one of the homes. While all the contents have now been cleared out, a strong smell still lingers.
Yeah, it's going to look a lot different.
Young says they hauled out mountains of trash and needles away from these properties.
Any situation that they move into after this house is better than what this house was. Like, I don't care what the situation they're going into after this. It is far better and safer for everybody involved if it's not this.
Young says just getting these homes empty, cleared out, and sealed has been a much bigger and more expensive task than anticipated.
Once we evicted people, they just kept trying to break back in. We had to hire a security company. They were tearing apart the foundation stones, trying to live under the houses.
The eviction process was a long and complicated one, something that has left neighbors like Carol frustrated.
I didn't think that those people cared enough to take care of it because I've made so many phone calls to them that I just gave up.
According to Spokane Code Enforcement, in 2024, multiple cases have been submitted by neighbors about poor living conditions and unlawful camping on the properties. But Young says they were doing all they could.
We had neighbors, the police, that were so angry that people were still living in this condition. And it was like, we've done everything the courts would allow us to do. It wouldn't matter how many times people called the police because of the excessive drug use, the violence. Until people were actually evicted from the home, we couldn't do anything. I mean, our hands were totally tied.
Despite her frustration, Carol says she's noticed a difference in the area as of late and hopes things continue to get better.
My hope is that the people who live here can live in peace and that my grandchildren can walk to 7-Eleven without worrying about being harassed or stepping on a needle.
And as for the future of the 4 properties,
we're going to turn them into homes that families can actually live in again. And we're going to turn them into like a nice house again, which is nice. It's safe. It's going to clean it up for the neighborhood.
Young tells me that homes of this size would usually take about 2 to 3 months to flip, but these ones are looking closer to a 9-month timeline. In all, Easy Home Buyer predicts it will lose around $40,000 from the 4 properties, but they'll be able to offset the costs in other ways. Young says while taking a loss is not ideal, he's glad they're able to bring them back up to living condition. Reporting in studio, Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mainstream Electric Heating, Cooling, Plumbing.
Whether planning your big day or needing a final touch, the Spokane Wedding Expo is for you. Experience firsthand all the aspects of a great wedding. Food, fashion, photography, flowers, and music, all in one place. For tickets, visit SpokaneWeddingExpo.com.
It's time to start your New Year's resolutions now. Are you ready for this? Ready to take chances? Will you push and break your limits? Are you ready to be a legend? This is your moment. Are you ready for this? This year, give yourself the gift of better health from Move Fitness. Are you ready for this?
Who isn't looking for extra ways to save some money these days, right? I'm always looking for new ways to save, but I haven't found anything better than my Ascend checking account. It's a free account that offers 3.5% of your average monthly balance. That can feed your coffee obsession for 2 weeks. Not only am I earning money, but it also has all the best features of a checking account. What's not to love?
Open your P1FCU checking account at p1fcu.org and start earning today.
Visit Fred's Appliance today and explore unbeatable deals on the largest selection of in-stock, get-it-today inventory in the region. Discover the quietest KitchenAid dishwasher, offering powerful cleaning without the noise. Run a cycle anytime. Enjoy a 3rd-level rack for silverware and utensils, an adjustable middle rack for tall items, and the print shield finish that resists smudges and fingerprints. All for just $8.49. Save $330 today. At Fred's, we sell appliances. Only appliances.
Spokane Valley Summer Theater's beloved annual favorite, A Big Band Christmas, is back with a fresh new story featuring a 17-piece big band, world-class singers from around the region, a children's chorus, nativity, and Santa and Mrs. Claus. It's holiday magic for the entire family. One weekend only, December 20th through 22nd with free parking. Tickets on sale now at svsummertheater.com or call 509-368-7897.
Whether planning your big day or needing a final touch, the Spokane Wedding Expo is for you. Experience firsthand all the aspects of a great wedding. Food, fashion, photography, flowers, and music, all in one place. For tickets, visit SpokaneWeddingExpo.com.
Well, it's fairly safe to say that this has not been a very kind last couple of weeks for WSU Coug fans, both from the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach leaving for Oklahoma and head coach Jake Dickert off to Wake Forest this morning. The waves just keep crashing now, with former star quarterback John Mateer deciding on his next spot. Mateer announced today that he is off to Oklahoma University to be their next quarterback, and he joins a long list of highly successful QBs there. Since 2007, 8 Sooner starting quarterbacks have been drafted to the NFL, and their 2023 starter Dylan Gabriel finished 3rd in the Heisman race this season with the Oregon Ducks. Now, this season, Jackson Arnold led Boomer Sooner and Norman for most of the season. He entered the transfer portal and will be at the Auburn Tigers next season, opening the door for Mateer. After the departure of Jason Eck 4 days ago, Idaho football quickly found their next head coach. Thomas Ford comes back to Moscow after a year at Oregon State as their running back coach, helping the Beavers to over 2,200 total rushing yards and Anthony Hankerson's 1,000-yard, 15-touchdown season. Ford was with the Vandals for the 2022 and 23 seasons, managing their special teams and running back group. And Eck himself expressed his support for Ford on social media, saying he's, quote, fired up for Vandal football and Coach Ford, and great choice to keep the program's momentum going forward.
Washington State men's basketball is putting the final touches on their prep for the sole Apple Cup Series game this season, played in Seattle against the Washington Huskies tonight. WSU head coach David Riley expressed earlier this week his excitement for the game and how he hopes more can be played in the future. But that's a departure from what UW head coach Danny Sprinkle said, quote, "It wasn't that important to me to keep it on the schedule. It's important to a lot of other people." Well, plenty of folks around the Evergreen State are tuned into this rivalry anyway tonight, and we're going to have full highlights on Nightside. And don't worry, we have plenty more basketball tonight with the Gonzaga Bulldogs hosting the Nicholls State Colonels right now in the Zags' first home game in 4 weeks. First ever meeting between the programs already underway. The Zags, last I checked, are up 31-27 with about under 3 minutes to go in the first half. We're going to have highlights coming up at 11. In studio, I'm Jack Wallace. And Chris, how is the weather looking besides being so warm?
It is warm and calmer, but there's some snow in this week's Wildlife Wednesday. Let's start off with this beautiful photo from Mark Vogt of a golden eagle. We don't get many photos of golden eagles, lots of bald eagles, but what an impressive bird, bigger and stronger than the bald eagle. Mark shared this gorgeous picture from North Idaho. I'll have more photos after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
We're not brother and sister.
We're not husband and wife.
She's not my daughter.
He's not just arm candy.
Hey.
What we are, we're advocates.
And so if you've been injured, we fight for you.
You deserve more than just a law firm.
You deserve an advocate.
When I was told I needed radiation treatment for a brain tumor, I couldn't stop thinking about what could happen to my memories. Those moments I cherish from growing up, of finding myself, of the people I love, of what I've created. But they all just fade away. But when I learned how precise treatment was with Gamma Knife, I was reassured that those moments would be preserved. Because it's not only about protecting the memories I've made, but the ones I have yet to create.
This Christmas, treat yourself to a new Toyota from Findlay. And take advantage of year-end specials on your favorite Toyotas. Plus, delay payments for up to 90 days. Making it a great time to check off your wish list for that perfect gift from Findlay.
Tonight, tracking the weather whiplash across the country. Plus, our great Made in America Christmas is back. The small-town triumphs you can put under the tree. On World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.
Life is an opportunity to grow, to feel, to excel. Life moves at its own pace, daring you to keep up. Life pushes you to be better, to go farther. Life has you here. We're just here to help.
Hello, I'm Diamond Dan Clark.
And I'm Jeweler Jane.
And we're from Clark's Diamond Jewelers in beautiful downtown Coeur d'Alene.
Our famous snow promotion is back for Christmas.
If it snows 4 inches or more in 24 hours on January 9th, 2025, all purchases made between November 19th and December 28th will be refunded in full. And that means all engagement rings, loose diamonds and gemstones, jewelry and gifts could all be free.
Shop Clark's Diamond Jewelers this Christmas and let it snow diamonds.
Donnie, the advocates excel in car, truck, and motorcycle cases, resulting in millions of dollars for our clients.
That makes me sad.
Sad? Why sad?
Just thinking about the ones that don't bring their cases to us.
Oh, that is sad.
4 News Now is brought to you by Silver Mountain Resort in Kellogg, Idaho.
Well, while it's a battle on the court tonight between the North Central Wolfpack and the Shadle Park Highlanders, it's a fight between toys and superheroes. In the stands, Marissa Rio is at the Spokane Arena for tonight's annual Groovy Shoe Spirit Competition. So, Marissa, what's it like out there?
Well, as you can hear, Derek, it is loud. It's electric out here tonight. North Central just had their halftime performance, and it's going to be a hard one to beat for Shadle Park. In the first half of the show, we showed you Shadle Park's high school's Toy Story toys, how they were all dressed up. And now I'm over here on North Central side, and they're dressed up as superheroes. North Central Wolfpack, are you guys ready to take, do you guys think you're going to take the Groovy Shoes back? Yeah! They're super excited. You can see how many superheroes they have. And then take a look at the stands. They are crowded tonight, ready to take those Groovy Shoes. They've won it the past 8 times, and I don't know, you can hear them. They might just take it back. wait and see who takes home those groovy shoes tonight. Live from Spokane Arena, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Marissa, I see Batman and the Joker behind you, so make sure they stay a safe distance from each other. All right. We're talking weather now with Chris Crocker. And listen, we had a very eventful morning with that wind, but like you said, much less tumultuous tonight.
Yes, much calmer. It is going to be cooler tonight as well. Wet roads refreezing, but boy, we melted a lot of snow. So for this Wildlife Wednesday, I wanted to feature the few photos where the photographers got out where there was still some snow on the ground. This one from Larry Crumpleman, a rough-legged hawk out on the Rathdrum Prairie on the hunt, and the hunting is good out there for hawks and owls. Lots of voles and things to catch. Beautiful photo. Thank you so much, Larry. Kimberly spotted this moose calf. Beautiful, healthy moose calf out in the snow. I'm sure that moose calf is up to its knees in mud by now. And James Richmond shared this photo. Our favorite subadult bald eagle, Ariel, looks very confused at what is falling around here out there at Lake Coeur d'Alene. It has been a very snow-free eagle season so far, so it was nice to see a little bit of snow in the eagle photos, but there's no more snow to be found in our forecast. There is, however, some precipitation. We will be dry tomorrow. We will be dry on Friday. Then Saturday, we have a chance of some rain. More rain possible on Sunday and into Monday, but it's a chance of precipitation, but it does look like it's going to be all rain. Take a look at our temperatures. This white line down here is our average high, which is 33 degrees. We're going to be in the upper 30s to lower 40s tomorrow, the mid 40s for Friday, and lower to mid 40s through the rest of the 7-day forecast. Looking ahead then toward the end of December, here's what we've got. We're in the orange, not the dark orange or red, but we're in the orange, indicating a trend toward above average temperatures through January 1st. That's our 8 to 14-day forecast, takes us all the way through the start of next year. And the green indicating above average precipitation. So it looks like we are in for more valley rain and hopefully valley or mountain snow. In your planning forecast, winter officially starts on Saturday, the winter solstice, 42 degrees and rain, an even better chance of rain on Sunday. Monday, a chance of showers, but it looks like Christmas Eve is going to be especially wet. Right now, Christmas Day, only a 30% chance of showers, and that also does not include Christmas night into the day after Christmas. There's a chance of a little tiny bit of snow, a little too late, however, for our white Christmas dreams. Overnight lows, meanwhile, through the forecast for the next 3 to 4 nights will be down close to freezing. So do watch out for wet roads refreezing, especially tonight. That is going to be our only weather hazard over the next 48 hours, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. Well, with the winter weather ramping up, so is avalanche season. For those of you heading to the mountains, Madeline Mullins has some tips from the Idaho Panhandle Avalanche Center to help keep you safe.
This time of year is busy at the Idaho Panhandle Avalanche Center.
Here we had a lot of snow starting in early November. And then, yeah, usually by, this time of year, early December, mid-December, we have a broad enough, complex enough snowpack in the mountains that it requires a lot of days in the field.
And for Chris Bilbrey, it is his first winter as the director of IPAC.
We tell people what terrain is the most likely to find a certain avalanche problem and just how to avoid that.
This is the first year that IPAC has hired a full-time director to oversee the Selkirk, West Cabinet, East Cabinet, and Purcell Mountains, as well as Silver Valley.
The growing demand on recreation in this area and more frequent accidents, I think the communities and the forest as a whole just recognized that they needed more of a permanent position to oversee the program.
In early 2024, 4 people died across Idaho and Washington due to avalanches, and 1 man died in Idaho just earlier this week. Bilbrey says there are precautions people can take before heading out in the snow. The most important thing to do before venturing out in the snow is to check the avalanche forecast.
Equally as important as checking the forecast is getting some type of education.
That education looks like knowing what triggers an avalanche and rescue training. Bilbrey also says
having the appropriate avalanche rescue gear, beacon, shovel, probe, all of this is really a holistic package to be able to, travel in the backcountry with snow on the ground.
Bilbrey says IPAC wants everyone to be able to enjoy the mountains, and having up-to-date safety information, which can be found on their website, is how they do that. In Sandpoint, I'm Madeline Mullins, 4 News Now.
Well, with 1 week left before Christmas, there is still some time to finish your holiday shopping, but your holiday shipping might be in jeopardy. Today was the deadline for the U.S. Postal Service's ground shipping to make it in time for Christmas. Next is the Priority Mail Express deadline, which is on Saturday. Meanwhile, UPS says Thursday is its cutoff for Christmas, or Monday if you're going with next day air. And at FedEx, if you're willing to pay for it, you can cut it as close as Christmas Eve with same-day shipping. Well, the union for Starbucks baristas has authorized a strike ahead of its latest round of contract negotiations this week. Starbucks Workers United said 98% of its baristas voted for a strike if it's needed. The union represents baristas of more than 500 of the roughly 10,000 company-operated stores in the U.S., including the Shadle Center store off of Wellesley in Northwest Spokane. No decisions have been made on whether the workers will actually go on strike or when that would be. All right, before we head to a break, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup for your Wednesday night.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Satay Bistro, Coeur d'Alene's culinary extravaganza of American fusion dining. From our extensive wine cellar to our unforgettably decadent menu, we'll move your experience beyond ordinary to the extraordinary. Satay Bistro, just off the 4th Street exit in Coeur d'Alene.
The Christmas season has arrived at Cal with big winter savings on all trucks and SUVs, as well as a 2-year maintenance program. Plus, you can delay all payments until March.
It's the season of giving at Cal.
Happy holidays from Cal.
4 News Now and STCU are proud to continue highlighting volunteers who go above and beyond with their efforts. STCU Volunteers Count is a project that awards groups and individuals who take volunteering to the next level, donating personal time and financial support to local nonprofits. The winning volunteers will be awarded a grant courtesy of STCU to help further their efforts, and then we'll tell their story. If you know of a local volunteer who deserves recognition, nominate them at KXLY.com.
For memories you can't make online.
Experience the magic of the holidays at River Park Square.
Mainstream has proudly served Greater Spokane and Northern Idaho for over 20 years, offering reliable and high-quality home services. Our exceptional team is committed to delivering trusted plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical solutions that ensure the comfort and safety of your home. Our goal is to provide the best experience possible when it comes to repairing, maintaining, or installing systems that make your home a more comfortable place to live. Because we are home services, we are Mainstream.
It's jaw-dropping, it's eye-popping, it's gut-busting. It's showtime. Everyone agrees this show is so good! Beetlejuice, coming to First Interstate Center for the Arts December 31st through January 5th.
Satay Bistro, Coeur d'Alene's culinary extravaganza of American fusion dining. From our extensive wine cellar to our unforgettably decadent menu, we'll move your experience beyond ordinary to the extraordinary. Satay Bistro, just off the 4th Street exit in Coeur d'Alene.
4 News Now is brought to you by Brothers Flooring.
Christmas is a week from today, and tomorrow and Friday will be great days for getting around to run your errands. Then you're going to need a rain jacket.
Yeah. The rain boots, maybe an umbrella if you're an umbrella person.
Yep. You'll need some fluid in the windshield wiper.
Expect it to be wet. All right. Thanks for being with us here. We'll see you tonight at Nightside starting at 11.